They were going to take everything from him, and I mean everything. His company, his name, maybe even his future. And he would have let them, if it wasn't for the janitor. Or at least that's who everyone thought she was. It started in the executive dining lounge. Quiet morning, coffee still steaming in his cup. And then, they're going to take everything from you, sir. Just like that. No drama, just truth. The voice. It came from a woman he barely noticed all week. Always moving quietly, always looking down. A new hire. Black woman, maybe in her early 30s. Said her name was Rachel. Just Rachel. And before Harold could even say excuse me, she was gone. Now Harold Voss wasn't the paranoid type. Man built Voss Tech from a garage startup into one of the most powerful clean energy firms in the Midwest. But that morning, her words stuck, clung to him like static, especially since the merger with a company called Delta North was about to go through, and he thought it was going to cement his legacy. That night when Harold was out meeting investors in Dallas, something very different happened back home, in his own boardroom. No cameras, no assistants, just drinks, laughter, and a group of trusted execs, his CFO of 20 years, Paul Granger, legal counsel, deputy COO, all of them. And none of them saw the woman sitting silent behind a utility grate in the wall. Not logged in, no name badge, just dark clothes, a hat, and a mic under her collar. Paul raised his glass, chuckling. Harold still thinks this is a partnership. Bless him. His deputy COO smirked. The second that ink dries, we cut the dead weight, keep the patents, flip the rest. The lawyer just shrugged. Old man still thinks loyalty is a strategy. They all laughed. She didn't. Next morning, Harold walks into that very same room. Paul's presenting synergy slides like he didn't just offer up Harold's life's work like a pig at auction. The room's full of tight smiles. Too tight. Then his phone buzzed. It was a message from his daughter forwarded from someone inside the company. Confidential server logs. At 2:13 a.m., someone downloaded the entire Asia client list and sent it outside the firewall. Harold stood up. Who authorized a file transfer at 2:13 a.m. last night? The air snapped like a cable under tension. Paul didn't miss a beat. He pointed at Rachel. The cleaner. I've seen her poking around where she doesn't belong. Server rooms, boardroom hallways. She's not cleaning. She's snooping. Everyone jumped in. She's giving off weird energy. She takes notes when she thinks no one's watching. Who even vetted her? It was like watching wolves circle. Harold, heart-pounding, said, "Bring her in." She came in calm, like she'd already played this out in her mind. "You've been in restricted areas," he said. She didn't flinch. Files were stolen. Still nothing. "She's not even denying it," Paul barked. "She's a plant. Cleaners don't carry notebooks." Harold clenched his jaw. "Call the police." But before security could even move, the door opened. A woman in a tailored charcoal suit walked in like she owned the floor. "If you arrest Miss Rachel, you'll be arresting your company's primary investor." Dead silence. The woman nodded toward Harold. "You may know her as the janitor, but on paper she holds 18% of this company under a silent trust. She's the reason your last expansion didn't tank your stock price." Everyone looked at Rachel. She looked right back at Harold and said softly, "I came to observe, and I've seen enough." She handed him a folder. Inside photos, documents, audio recordings, transcripts of every word that went down in that secret meeting. Harold's face drained as he saw the names Paul, Carol, Jenna, all of them. Every person he'd once considered family. "I trusted them," he whispered. Rachel looked at him, eyes calm but full. "And I've been protecting you since day one. The moment I saw Delta North's name, I knew what they were here to do." He collapsed into his chair. They were my friends. She nodded. They were your enemies, just in expensive shoes. That's when he asked, Why would you do this? Rachel inhaled. Her voice wavered just once. Because this company, it was my father's dream too. He was an early investor, a silent one, a black man who gave everything he had to be part of something bigger. Until they framed him, buried him in legal lies, drove him to despair, and he died thinking he was a failure. Harold's voice broke. Who was your father? Franklin Moss. He blinked like she slapped him. Franklin, he was one of the kindest. And you didn't protect him, she said, not with rage, with grief. I was too busy growing, Harold murmured. I thought the board had it. I'm not here to punish you, Mr. Voss, she said. I'm here to protect what he loved, the mission, the dignity, the people. From that moment on, everything changed. Harold fired the board members on the spot, ordered a full investigation, and appointed Rachel as head of internal integrity. Some folks balked, called her unqualified, said she had no background in strategy. She smiled and said, Good, then maybe I'll do something different. Weeks passed. The company began to heal. Wrongfully fired employees were rehired, retirements reinstated, and one morning Rachel showed up with something else. Her father's journal. Inside were notes he took during his final months, observations, names, even a hidden ledger no one ever found. There was still corruption buried in the walls, still more rot to dig out. But this time Harold wasn't alone. Rachel was there beside him, not behind him. And just when they thought they'd reached the end, a new name appeared. A man tied to shell firms, false charities, even political PACs. Someone high up, federal level. The battle wasn't just corporate anymore. It was national. But now, Rachel had the light, and she wasn't going back into the shadows. So let me ask you something. Do you think she went too far or not far enough? Do you think people like her should be silent when the world tries to erase them? Comment below. Tell us what justice means to you. And if you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, erased, remember this. The cleaner saved the company, not by scrubbing floors, but by exposing the dirt no one wanted to see.